Okay, now I decided to take a focus on the Middle East. You know, that place in the world that gave birth to terrorism and have constant coups and revolts and a lot of poverty. But one of the first things you notice when you turn your eyes towards the Middle East is this massive disparity. On the one hand, you have states like Saudi Arabia and other Gulf nations that have like the highest rates of GDP. But then you turn your eyes towards Lebanon and Yemen and it's like sort of the complete opposite. And it sort of begs the question, like, is there some sort of organization, some sort of cooperation that happens between the Middle Eastern nations, that something that drags from, you know, the far west nations like Algeria and Tunisia, and then all the way to Iran on the east, that drives some sort of development and cooperation. And that's the focus of this video. The Arab League was an organization established in 1945 amongst 7 nations, namely Egypt, Lebanon, Syria, Saudi, Yemen, Iraq and Jordan. It's basically the equivalent of like the EU, the European Union or ASEAN, except for the Middle East, and maybe the fact that the other 2 organizations are a bit productive. It was initially established to draw closer relations between the regional states and promote this story, this narrative of Pan-Arabism, which was quite prominent at the time, and something that led to the Egyptian president at the time, Jamal Abdel Nasser, creating this united Arab Republic between Syria and Egypt, but later crumbled, but that's for another time. But another purpose that they served was to promote this sense of independence and sovereignty for Arab nations as they underwent decolonization. And if I may quote directly from their pact, the purpose of the League is to draw closer the relations between member states and coordinate their political activities with the aim of realizing a close collaboration between them, to safeguard their independence and sovereignty, and to consider in a general way the affairs and interests of the Arab countries. Now, they haven't exactly been the most productive organization. The conflict amongst the different nations just kills any capacity for decision making. Syria's sort of just been expelled after its civil war, and Turkey has been trying to get into the league but just keep getting repelled. Members are skipping summits, the utility is just waning, and God knows the future of what this organization has.